I'm a coal miner's daughter, and I know what it means for unions to fight for rights and fight for workers. I first decided to run for office after 2016, and Trump was elected, and he appointed Betsy DeVos as Secretary of Education. I remember I was furious. She was completely unqualified to oversee the education of millions of children, and I've dedicated my entire adult life to improving public education, protecting it, and helping children. And she started rolling back protections that Obama had put into place, and I knew that someone had to stand up and fight for our kids. And then I looked at my own delegates' votes, and I knew that he had a horrible record with education. I mean, he has a failing report card from the Virginia Education Association. I couldn't change his mind, so I decided to change his seat. My great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my father were all coal miners. I still have my grandfather and my great-grandfather's pay stubs, pay envelopes from when they were miners, like in the 60s and late 50s. And it has union dues, and my grandfathers were very proud members of the union. They worked very hard to get the union. I grew up listening to stories that my grandfather would tell us about how they lived in company houses, and they were paid not even in real money, in scrip that they had to use in the company store to buy food, and how sometimes men would get killed in the mines, and they would pretty much just bring their bodies out, lay them on the porch, move that family out, and move another family in. And without the unions, the safety standards were very poor. I grew up listening to stories about unionizing. All right, so this was my great-grandfather's pay stub, his little pay envelope from Blackwood Coal and Coke Company, and this one was from 1925. This one was my grandfather Jess's, and it was from 1960. And here it says burial fund, but it also has, you know, they had to pay to use the bath shower there. They, you know, $2.50 for that. The light, electricity there, even they had to pay for that. So that's from a long time ago. But I keep it, and someday I will give it to my sons so that they can keep it, because I want to make sure they always remember where we came from. I realized in second grade, I was at the table reading and doing my homework and reading a book, and my dad just was looking at me kind of in awe, and he said, "Sissy, how do you do that?" And I'm like, "Do what? Read?" He goes, "Yeah." And that's when I realized, because that Daddy could read. When I was younger, I would go with my dad to vote every year, and everyone said, "Oh, it's so sweet, he's bringing his daughter to vote." Well, he actually brought the sample ballot from the union and made sure that I read it for him so he could mark his sample ballot correctly. Little did he know what he was creating.
A while back, my husband bought this AR-15. I wasn't happy about it, and after last week, I told him I wanted this gun out of my house. So today, we're going to destroy it.
So this was my very first year of teaching in 1988. Someone please wax those eyebrows. And this was last year. You know, after 30 some years, you get a little bored, so you get creative. One year I dressed as a pirate. It could come down to one vote. It's going to be a close race. The day I graduated college, Daddy said to me, "I want you to promise me that every kid you teach, you're going to make sure they learn to read so they don't struggle to take care of their families and provide for them like I had to struggle." So I'm just keeping a promise to my dad.